we go. Okay, so we have Arcanine shirt. I don't know if you can tell. All right. We have a Dark Blastoise First Edition PSA 9, sell for $301. That is the second one. The last two have sold for over $300. The other one, like 2 days ago or yesterday, was $345 or $353. This is $301. So maybe the new support line is $300. I don't know yet. Oh, like, subscribe, comment for the YouTube algorithm, for science and stuff. Snorlax First Edition PSA 9 sold for $336. That was from the from the Jungle set. Dark Blastoise from the Rocket set. Slowking First Edition PSA 9 from the Neo Genesis set. Yes, it is. It was $700 or best offer. We don't know what it sold for. Honestly, even $700 is probably a fair price point. If we have something that is, you know, let's say 10 PSA 10 copies or 12, even if it's under 20, that's stupid rare. That is, you know, PSA 10 copies, if it's under 20 is just, if it's under 50, that's considered like serious collector, like you will pay thousands of dollars, like depending on how, you know, 4 figures at least. Sometimes 5, depending on the card, depending on the, you know, obviously we're talking about hollows here, but First Edition PSA 10. So even if the 10 sells for, you know, $5,000, which I think it could or should, then yeah, this 700 makes sense. We had a Delibird from Neo Revolution, First Edition PSA 9, hollow, sell for $122. We had a Houndoom from Neo Revelation, First Edition PSA 9, hollow, sell for $380. Such a badass card. Like, it's, I didn't love Dark Pokemon when I first joined, or when they first came out, because they're like, all right, yeah, great defense, and they're annoying as hell to battle, because if, like, when you're facing Karen and she's got that Umbreon, just like, fuck, man, I can't, it tanks physical and special attacks, and it's just, you can't, like, side beam it to that, like, because normally up until that point, if you had anything that could tank physical attacks, even if you didn't have a special, even if it didn't have a weakness, like, or if you didn't have, you could still, any special attack, like, okay, he's got a low special stat, we can do it. But those, they have very, very high defense and special defense. You know, Houndoom, Umbreon, and again, Houndoom's so badass because it can learn Crunch, gets a stab bonus for that, and it can learn Flamethrower, stab bonus for that. So that dual typing is just a powerhouse. Jumpluff, First Edition PSA 9, also from Neo Revelation, sold for $71. Porygon 2. This is such a badass card also. It just looks cool. It's futuristic. Porygon getting in evolved form is just like, what? First Edition PSA 9, sold for $164. Heracross. I think this is, even though this First Edition PSA 8, so again, there's less than 20 PSA 10 copies. I don't know how many 9, but the 8 sold for $92. That's definitely worth it. Definitely a good price. This one, Feraligatr, First Edition PSA 9 from Neo Genesis, number 5. So it's the one that is more rare. It's harder to grade. It's just, I think it's 177 PSA 9 copies, because there's like 18 PSA 10 copies. And it got, where am I going with this? Oh yeah, it sold for $420, the PSA 9. It was $420 or best offer, but T18, Typhlosion, First Edition PSA 10, number 18. Again, number 17 is the one that's ridiculous, but number 18, it sold for 1.5K. It was interesting because we had one that sold for like 900 or 1200, the PSA 9 version. So that was, I think these are just finding its footing. I don't know if you're going to see a retrace in the 9, or if the next, this 10 should have gotten much, much more. Because if the 9's going for 900, there's another one on auction right now for like 800. That 10 should be high. So that's a very, whoever got that 10, great job. And also the reason the 9 might not get them is there's so many 9s now, because that one 9 got like $900 something or $1,000. There's like 5 other PSA 9s available right now. So T18, if you're looking for a T18 PSA 9, this is it. This is like probably the best you're gonna get, because there's like 4 or 5 out on the market right now. I don't know how many PSA 9 copies are available, but having this many copies, again, it's only a 9, so it's not like, it's probably not going to happen all that often. I don't know if maybe you'll see it steadily for the next month because there's flippers, but a lot of people I sell to, They buy it and that goes in their collection. Like, nope, not selling. This is mine. I got it. It's mine. Like, it's like I don't know what else that. And I don't want to say like a video game, but let's say in war. I don't talk about Pokemon. I'm translated it to war. Let's go with the Kurds. Kurdistan. They are historically well known for being able to, whenever they get land, historically known for holding that land and not giving it up. They get someplace. No, it's mine. They will die before they give that up. And that's some of these collectors. I like that. Like, as soon as they get it, because the prices keep going, it costs a lot. Like, even if it's only a couple $100, if you're like a family man, you know, this pandemic, you have a lot of people that are out of work. A lot of people lost a lot. I lost a lot of money because, you know, my first business is I give loans to business owners, and business owners can't open up. It's illegal. People getting arrested now for trying to give haircuts, which is heckin' ridiculous, but they can't work, so they can't pay back their loans. A hair in my mouth. So they can't pay back. And if you're trying to finish a collection, if you're trying to just have fun and be nostalgic, even if you have money, like some people have kids, so it's very hard to try to just make ends meet in some places. And talking about, you know, sometimes 4 figures, sometimes 5 figures, the ability to work and grind and save up as the price is moving up at an exponential rate is a very good feeling. It's working hard in general is a good feeling, where at the end of the day, like, you get a good meal in you, maybe a beer, just, you feel good about yourself. But then seeing the fruits of your labor, like if you're in construction, like I built that house, or if you, whatever you're doing, as you're adding something, if you're creating, that gives you a great feel that not a lot of other people know, because some people just, I don't know if it's a silver spoon in their mouth, they just get money, you know, it's material and they don't, you know, they could take it or leave it, doesn't really matter. But if you fight for it, you're not going to give that up. Like, if someone gets that T18 for $1,500 that it sold for, and they were waiting for one to come out, they expected it to be several hundred, probably, you know, even $2,000. They're excited that they didn't have to pay $2,000, but they probably worked an extra month, 2 months for that. And then they get it. They're just like, I'm never selling this bad boy. Someone could give them $3,000, someone give them $5,000. Like, no, I worked way too hard for this. This is, you know, a little tangent. Blaine's Moltres from Gym Heroes, first edition PSA 9, sold for $357 hairs. Dark Charizard. All right, so we've had 2 Dark Charizards, PSA 10s the past like week, and they both sold for $2,200. This one was a little different. The first edition PSA 10 sold for $2,169. I think this was a overseas auction though, like in British pounds, or yeah, I don't think it was an Australian auction, and so they probably paid like $100 for shipping, but which you might have to do with this card anyway because it's so valuable that, you know. So that's support line, probably 2.2 grand. It's three sales. That's what the average is. We also had a Dark Charizard first edition PSA 9 sell for $680. So I think I know I don't hate on this card because it's a cool card and I like it. The reason why is because I think the Blaine's Charizard looks cooler, and I think because it has only like 80 health, like it's not that playable. You know, a lot of the Rocket set, because they're dark, that weren't that playable. But and again, 400 something PSA 10 copies. I still think that the PSA 10 has a little room to grow because the 9s were at, you know, 250 to 350 for a little while, and then they shot up to 680. You know, 680. I think that's a new record price point because there's, or maybe it's not. Don't quote me on that. I forget. I didn't look it up, but that's less than 4 times. The 10's only selling for less than 4 times what the 9 is selling for. It's something like 3.5 times that. So either the 9 is due for a retrace, may or may not, or the 10 has room to grow. But, and again, I don't hate on this card. I give some reasons why I like the Blaine's Charizard better, but this is the second Charizard ever. There was a base set, and then, bam, Rocket set, another Charizard? What? Like, kids were shitting themselves. I was like, girl! Like, that's, before girl was a thing, that's exactly what they were doing. Like, holy, like, and then, you know, some were disappointed that, you know, okay, Nail Flick, it wasn't playable, not really that, but it was just cool. It's like you got another Charizard, and it's dark. It's evil Charizard. It is badass. That's Charizard you don't bring home to your parents. That's a Charizard just like, whoa. Like it's a bad motherfucker. Moving on, we had Lapras First Edition PSA 9, sold for $202. I still think you could possibly get this card for $180. I think it's worth a hell of a lot more. I think it's worth $400 card, or it should be. But I've only seen maybe like 3 or 4 copies sell for $200 and above. I still have seen a couple sell for, so there is a chance that you might be able to snag this for $180, $190. But so I'm not 100% comfortable with saying like minimum 200 is a support line for that Lapras First Edition PSA 9 from Fossil Set Hollow. But yeah, if it never goes below 200 again, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's time. Thank God I have like 5 of them. Bought them when I was like, oh, what? So, Rayquaza Gold Star, PSA 6. This is English. The Gold Stars that I go over is mostly all English. Sold for $1,375. There was a buddy of mine said that another one of his friends said that they had reason to believe that the $23,000 Rayquaza Gold Star PSA 10 auction was shill bid, and I tried to go through it, and I don't, and it wasn't a private auction. It didn't say private listing on the things, and or even if it did, it might have. The reason why I say like, if the ones are auctions or I see like, okay, suspected shill bid, is one, if it is a private listing, or if it's not a private listing, I'll see one of the top bidders with 0 feedback. That's why I'll be like, okay, it's a little fishy. But yeah, I think for this one, there was like, yeah, no, there was private listing, but 5 of them were over like $21,000. 5 of those bidders, and I was like, listen, even if someone had, you know, one of them were shill bid, even if the second or the first one was a shill bid, you still have 5 people bidding $21,000 or over, you know, or 4 other people. And his argument was, well, you don't think someone could make 5 accounts? And I was like, maybe, but I've never seen that before. I've never seen someone make 5 different accounts. And now, granted, it's a big ticket item, you know, and anything over five figures is, but 20 something is. So I'm like, maybe, but even the ones like I've seen Charizards were again even bigger ticket item. Only one of those bidders out of the dozens will have 0 feedback. So I was like, I've never seen that before for items even bigger than that. I don't think someone would do that. So either way, I think that was a real sale. So this, we're going to do some math here. Double it to PSA 7, or PSA 6 on PSA 7. If we double it, it's 2,600. Double it again to PSA 8 is 5,200. Double it again. I don't think a 9 would get $10,000. No. I think a Rayquaza Gold Star PSA 9 would probably sell for 5. Just because, maybe even less than that. If we're doing my rule, it would probably sell for 3 to 4 grand. Yeah, but because there's so few 10s, there's less than 50 10s. So again, less than 50 10s, you're gonna get a bunch of serious collectors throwing some cash money around. So the 9, because the 10s aren't really available for anyone else unless you have 5 figures, and not just like, okay, $10,000 like a T17, double that. Like, let's say someone works for an extra 6 months to make an extra 10 grand. They grind, they do, you know, flip stuff on eBay. They go to yard sales and I'll give you 10 bucks for this, sell it for 30, and do that for 6 months. Nope, you got to do it for a year for that. So that's out of reach for most people. So you're going to buy them 9s. 9s are going to shoot up. I think the 9 would get, this one, it would probably be the, you know, the general rule, 10 gets 5 to 8 with the 9 is selling for. But this one, I would say it would get closer to the 10 times. No, not the 10. I'm sorry, the 3 times. You know, lower end is 3. So 7 grand. My 5. Let's say 5 to 7. You know, that would be about the 9. I would propose. Again, I could be dead wrong. We could see an auction go and it could get 10 grand, or it could get, you know, what I got. I don't think it would go any lower than 5. After that, we had a Blaine's Ninetales, from Gym Challenge. It's not a holo, but it's a rare card, first edition PSA 10, sold for $32. That's a rare card. That's a gem mint card, $32. So that's wonderful. You could still get beautiful gem mint cards, rare, from a WotC set, first edition PSA 10, so for $32. That's cool. Giovanni's Nidoking, first edition PSA 9, sold for $169. There's a PSA 10 on auction right now. I think that card is still severely undervalued. I think there's 167 PSA 10 copies, but it's such a cool card. I love it. Anyway, that's it for me. Kept you all long enough. Oh, in case you want to know what I'm buying, so I told you guys about Tesla, Square, and Illumina. You know, Tesla's a car company. Square has the Cash App, and you know, anytime you go to like a halal guy and you give him your card for like amazing chicken and rice and lamb and stuff and sauce, you know, he has a little thing like, oh, here's Square, let me, you know, swipe your card and you whatever. And then Illumina, that data collection, they take a sample of your DNA and they find out what's wrong with it. Say like, oh, you're prone for this, or this is wrong with you, fix that so you don't die. They save lives. That's fantastic. And the other one is Fastly, which I should have told you guys about. Fastly is a company that helps out. It helps gives people very, very high-speed internet, helps them from getting attacked, helps from hackers, and it's DDoS. They went up like 45% because their earnings call. So I should have told you guys about them before. Anyway, those are my stocks that I personally invest in. Not telling you guys to do it, but that's just what I do with my extra money when I am not buying Pokemon cards. All right? Love you guys. I love you all. Bye.